This is a review of Chapter 9, Preparing a Research Report. Anytime that we are preparing a research report, it is important to acknowledge that there are different styles that we can be using, and the three most common styles are listed here. At the School of Professional and Continuing Education at the University of Richmond, a decision has been made to use the APA style. I recently spoke with Dr. Amen, who shared with me that all students in the master's program are expected to have the publication manual. There is also a specific manual published by APA that has a unique way of describing or illustrating how electronic references should be referenced both in the body of a paper as well as in the reference list. There are, however, also excellent sources online available to do referencing, such as the link listed on this page here. Uh, there are also excellent pieces of software that are available at the library website, that when you do a search online, you can actually save your information about that article into a software. The two ones that the university offers is the one called EasyBib and the other one called RefWorks. Once you have saved your references or the articles that you have had with the correct notations in there, and actually if you search the library by using one of either these two pieces of software, it will automatically import your reference in there and have the correct format, so that you both can use it in the body of your paper as well as in the reference list at the end of the paper. So one of the questions is, how do we write when we write research reports? And one of the things that is very common in research report is that conclusions are usually reported with some kind of tentativeness, whereas the procedures and the results of descriptive analysis can be stated more definitively. The reason that we are a little bit more tentative about conclusions is that uh, since we rarely can use true experimental research, one can at best maybe suggest that there's reason to believe, or that the data suggests more tentative language like that. It's also important to use plain, straightforward language. Try to write in, common language, while at the same time using the correct terminology that is associated with writing a research paper, and also to be consistent throughout the paper, to use the same tense and the same form of referencing throughout the paper. There typically are some major sections of the report. Again, I provide a format which is very congruent with this, but there is an introduction that includes a statement of the problem, the questions, etc. Then there is a review of the related literature. Next, you describe the methodology. Next, the findings of the results from the study, and then conclusions and discussions, and each of these follows the different chapters of Merdler's book. Then there is some material that typically goes in front of in a research report, such as a title page, maybe a signature page, only in event that it is a thesis that is not what you are doing. Sometimes you have an acknowledgement page or a dedication page, table of contents. These are typically in master's thesis and in doctoral dissertations. The same thing with the list of figures and tables are typically also front material. Back material includes references and appendices. So, for instance, if you use a survey, either that you developed yourself or an existing survey, or some kind of an assessment instrument, do not incorporate them into the body of the research report, but attach them as appendices at the end of the paper. The major differences between a thesis and a dissertation is the length of it, the length of the paper, and also the inclusion of the front and back materials. In a typical journal article, you will not be seeing any appendices, or you will not see acknowledgments or whatever. The only type that you might see some kind of an acknowledgement is if the research was funded by someone, then there usually is a notation that this research was funded by so and so. The length of the paper always becomes a question in a class like that, like this one here. And I would say that since you guys are working together in groups and you have 16 references without the front cover and without the reference lists, a typical paper in this class is probably somewhere in the 15 to 18 page length, double spaced, standard 12 font size. Thank you.